Did you know that 60% of people over 65 years of age will spend at least 18 months in a nursing home? When my husband Jeff told me this, I was 67 at the time, and this was not what I wanted to hear. I could feel my stomach drop, and suddenly I was filled with fear. Fear of loss, fear of separation, and fear of what aging could mean for me as I got even older. But an hour later, sitting in a grocery store parking lot, I discovered something life-changing that has helped me ever since. Hi, I'm Dr. Connie Numbers, and in today's video, I'm going to share a very personal story, how I turned fear into peace in just 15 minutes using a simple exercise known as the what if game. I used this tool 10 years ago in that parking lot, and I continue to use it today. And I promise it's something you can use at any age and at any time you feel overwhelmed by life. Or let me say, when you feel overwhelmed by the stories you tell yourself about life. So, that day, my husband had this need to sit me down and talk about retirement, aging, and nursing homes. Didn't like it. But he continued, saying that if you're in a nursing home longer than 18 months, Medicare stops paying, and without expensive insurance, people, meaning we, could lose all of our assets and everything we've worked for. Now, let me say, in his behalf, he wasn't being negative. He's a realist, and he wanted to protect us. But as he talked, my heart just sank. I held back the tears because the thought of us being separated, or one of us being alone in a nursing home, or not having enough money to find adequate care, well, it scared me. It not only brought up the thought of future grief, it triggered old wounds of loss from my childhood. So I began to feel a little panicky. So I needed to get away, quick, to think, to do something with these feelings. So I got in the car and I headed toward the grocery store. I couldn't believe it. A half hour ago, I was happy. I was happy with me. I was happy with my life. Now, all of a sudden, in my mind, life was unfair. It shouldn't be this way. Everyone should have enough insurance so people don't have to worry about being separated or living in a nursing home. So here I am, driving in the car and saying out loud, quite loudly, "No wonder people move to Costa Rica or Canada. Look how good their country takes care of them. So is that what I'm going to have to do if I don't have $1 million for long-term care? Now I have to consider the idea of leaving my country and my friends?" And as I pulled into that parking lot of Food Lion, I began to cry because I let all these negative thoughts take over. I was telling quite the story. So I found a space away from all the others, put my car in park, and just sat there. And as the tears were running down my face, I realized that I was once again facing the greatest challenge I've had to face my whole life. There it was again, knocking at my door. Fear. This time it was fear of losing my home, fear of losing our savings, and most of all, fear of losing Jeff. But in that moment, I heard another voice suddenly pop into my head, thank God, and it said this: "Hey, wait a minute. You're the one in control here of what you feel. Not Medicare, not nursing homes, not statistics. You. You are the one choosing to feel fearful. So, Connie, do you want to go inside that store pushing a cart and sniffling in your Kleenex hoping nobody sees you feeling miserable? Or do you want to change this feeling right here, right now, in this parking lot?" And in that moment, I made the decision to face those feelings right then and there in the car. And I have to tell you, I'm so glad I have this part of me that likes to straighten me out. So here's the tool I want to share with you that helped me do that. I'm pretty sure I learned it from Esther Hicks, and it's called the what-if game. And it works like this. Instead of asking, what if everything goes wrong? You flip it and ask yourself, what if everything goes right? You literally train your brain to see new possibilities. So I began talking to myself out loud, and I said my first what if. Okay, Connie, your fear is that you're going to end up in a nursing home. Well, what if you never end up in a nursing home? What? It kind of stopped me in my tracks. Oh, yeah. Hello. That's a possibility. Oh, what if that never happens? And then more what ifs came flying out of my mouth. What if you never need a nursing home? What if you stay fairly healthy for the rest of your life and you end up living in your house like many people do? Or you get special care at home? Oh, yeah, that could happen. And then this one popped into my head. Hey, what if you follow in the footsteps of your dad's side of the family, where some of them just keel over in one fell swoop, and just like that, they're gone. They're here 1 minute and gone the next. So if that happens to you, there's no need for a nursing home at all. Woohoo! And that thought actually made me laugh. And once I laughed, I felt such relief. Because laughter always breaks fear. And then another possibility opened up. I thought, wait a minute. What if I'm not a statistic? 60% might end up in a nursing home, but 40% don't. What if I'm one of those? I've never been average, so why would I start now? And I began to feel even more relief. And I could see my what-ifs moving in a more positive direction. And suddenly I had this thought. Even if you did end up in a nursing home, why does it have to be a tragedy? What if it meant you finally got to rest, be cared for, and also help others while you're there? Maybe it doesn't have to be the worst thing that's ever happened to you. And in that moment, my what-ifs went to an even deeper level. And I heard this. Connie, what if you thrive in this next chapter of your life? What if you attract more abundance and have enough to pay for anything you and Jeff might need? You believe in the law of attraction, so what if that happens? And what if you were to put more trust in your spiritual beliefs because you do believe that whatever shows up in your life is for the benefit of you, whether you can see it or not? So what if you really trusted in the belief that God, the universe, has your back and that you will be taken care of one way or the other? Well, that one really hit me hard in such a very good way. And I could feel the heaviness start to lift right out of my body. And those beautiful what-ifs continued. And what if you remembered that you and Jeff will never truly lose each other because your bond is eternal and you know you'll be reunited when the time comes, so there will never be a permanent loss? I loved that. Well, guess what happened next? I finally asked the big question. What if you were to let go of fear right now and be present with where you are right now, where everything is okay and everything feels good? I mean, before Jeff sat you down for that nursing home talk, you were having a very happy day. That happy day is still here waiting for you. It's only your fear that took it away. So what if, right now, you were to just feel grateful for this beautiful life you have and for this present moment? What would that feel like? Well, by the time I finished that parking lot conversation, everything shifted. And I mean everything. My fear, my sadness, my anger, all gone. I walked into Food Lion, lighter and happier, and I walked back out of that store so much more in alignment with my true self, and also with a very big bag of Cheetos. What's so wonderful about all this is that none of the circumstances I was worried about changed. Nursing home statistics, still the same. Medicare remained the same. What changed was me, my energy, and my new frame of mind. I couldn't believe it, but in 15 minutes, I was once again at peace with myself and happy to be in life. So here's what's important for all of us to remember. You can't control every circumstance in your life, but you can always control how long you stay in the feelings about those circumstances. So if you want to feel better, you can. Try the what-if game. Talk out loud to yourself. Be your best friend and constant ally. Stop assuming the worst and start thinking of the best possibilities that are there waiting for you. Take a worry or a concern you might be having and try what-ifing your way back to you. And who knows? 15 minutes in a grocery store parking lot might just change everything for you, too. So, if this story resonated with you or helps you in any way, I would love to know in your comments, and I'd also love to know what's a what if you could start practicing today. I'd also really love you to subscribe and like, and I thank you so much for coming to my channel, and I would love to read everything you have to say, and I promise I'll respond. So until our next time together, always keep in mind, there really is no one worth knowing more than you.